to your right.
The X Files aren't just about UFOs. Their storylines include episodes on telekinesis. And in a recent episode, a subject that is making headlines all over the world, plague.
This episode is called F. emasculata, which is the name of a bug. And we find that there are 2 prisoners and escaped convicts who have escaped a prison which goes into a quarantine.
Then I go straight back this way.
Straight back, boom, right there. Agent Scully, through searching a prison, comes down into the subterranean corridors and finds bodies have been missing, and she wants to know where they're going because they're not being buried, they're just vanishing. And she discovers down here in the incinerator that they're actually burning the dead bodies.
They've been infected with a contagion that has come from an insect out of Costa Rica. And it gets passed on from person to person when the boil explodes in their face.
Okay, so the first shot, we'll get as far as you coming in, but we won't do the pus blow or anything like that.
Okay.
It'll be a combination of mannequins and actual extras that we'll put in, set to camera, so if you get too close, you can start to tell that it's a mannequin. We'll put a body in there and open up the side of the bag so they can breathe, and they're full of pussy little pustules that are the actual contagion that's been implanted into them.
That's the first time that I've seen a boil up close like that, and it was the first time that I had an opportunity to investigate it, to try and figure out what it was. And I get interrupted by a doctor who claims to work for the CDC, the Centers for Disease Control, but he actually works for Pink Pharmaceuticals.
You can't be down here.
I need to know what these men are dying from. You said this was some kind of a flu-like illness. What are these?
Please, these bodies should not be exposed.
Do all of the victims have these boils? You're burning the bodies. Why?
This is the X Files. We're great at this stuff. We'll have no problem just nailing this whole scene.
And while Scully is knee-deep in boils, Mulder's back confronting his superiors.
It's the last scene in the episode, and I'm just trying to figure out why I've been lied to. Robert Torrance was patient 0, the first prisoner to contract the disease. Just before being admitted to the infirmary, he received a package from Pink Pharmaceuticals. They orchestrated this entire thing to circumvent years of FDA trials in order to get their drug on the market.
I would say that there are people out there who would corroborate just about any of the stories that we're going to do, whether or not they are based on actual stories. But they are within the realm of extreme possibility. You know, it's not a fantasy, and it's not the Twilight Zone. This is reality. It just happens to be the extreme edge of reality.
It's amazing, too, how sometimes episodes that we're beginning to shoot parallel something that's actually taking place in the current events in real life. And not because the writers read about it and are writing a script about it, but it's just suddenly happening at the same time that we're writing the script.
Just try to keep your head outside of David's left arm, because we just blocked it. And action!
Why are you telling me this, Agent Mulder?
Because I wanted you to hear it from me before you read it in the papers.
I'd seriously reconsider bringing this to the media if that's your intention.
The public has a right to know so it doesn't happen again.
And you're going to prove this elaborate conspiracy with an empty package and a dead insect? Leave it alone, Agent Mulder. The epidemic was contained.
18 people are dead, and if you're helping them cover the truth behind those deaths, then you're just as guilty as they are.
You really have no idea who you're dealing with, do you?
I thought I was dealing with you.
You can't prove a thing, Mulder. They've made sure of it. The audience has had a chance to live with us for a while, and so is getting to know us more and more. And also the characters are getting closer and closer together and expressing more ranges of emotion in front of each other than they did at the beginning.
You never had a chance, Agent Mulder. For every step you take, they're 3 steps ahead.
Well, what about you? Where do you stand?
I stand right on the line that you keep crossing. Agent Mulder, watch your back. This is just the beginning.
Behind the scene.
Hi, my name is Gillian Anderson. I'm on the X Files. Please tune in to see everything you wanted to know about pustules, the X Files, and splooging boils.
Just like Disney World. Behind
The scene.
Behind
The scene. Behind the scenes.
Imagine what it would be like if you saw something you couldn't explain. Something from another world. Something so incredible, no one would believe you.
Oh my God. Hey, Mark.
We'll go behind the scenes on the critically acclaimed X Files and follow Special Agent Fox Mulder and Dana Scully as they investigate a series of unexplained cases.
The X Files are files that are unsolved cases, cases about unexplained phenomena, cases about UFOs, cases about strange things, occurrences that have happened that police, the FBI, the CIA have been unable to solve. And so we go in and we try and solve them.
It appears to be highly contagious.
Then you don't know much, Agent Mulder.
Why weren't we told the truth?
We didn't know the truth. What we knew would have slowed you down.
The FBI claims there are no real X-Files. And the X-Files, the way I conceived of them, were these files that had actually been shelved by the government, that the FBI had put them away, they didn't want them investigated, and Agent Mulder had dug them up and had taken them on as his cause.
Another reason for the show's huge success are the exceptional actors cast in the roles of Mulder and Scully.
Well, this isn't the type of thing the FBI normally gets called in on. I got a feeling we're not being told the entire story here.
I've got the same feeling, Mulder.
I feel every day that I'm so blessed to have two fantastic actors who are great people to work with, who add to the show in so many ways. I think that they are offbeat and not your typical television stars, just help the show. So, you know, it's one of those chances in a lifetime. It's luck, it's magic, and I know it.
I'm constantly grateful for the opportunity to play such a strong, intelligent, equal, powerful woman as Scully is, and I don't know. It's a blessing. I'm very lucky. Hi, this just came through. It's a posthumous medical exam of the woman's body. I think somewhere in the last part of the first season, I started to get really comfortable with the character. I think that the first few episodes were about, you know, getting used to this whole thing that was episodic TV and getting used to the characters at the same time and getting used to, you know, hitting your mark. For me, at least, it was learning everything in front of millions of people. I'm still kind of in a daze about it all. I'm still kind of just floating through it.
We worked very hard at making each show kind of like a one-hour movie. The production values and the cinematography and the acting and the writing, we're aspiring to film quality and not TV quality.
15 Charlie, take one. A mark.
B mark.
And all that team effort translated into a huge jump in the show's following.
I thought once it survived and didn't get canceled that it would eventually catch on.
The sort of cult label may have hurt us a little bit in the beginning, hindered a little bit of our progress, but I think that now it's actually a label that I think I would like to sort of cultivate. I want to keep doing the same show, and even though more people are watching, I want people to know that it's the same subversive, dark little show that we've always been doing.
You can't protect the public by lying to them.
It's done every day.
I won't be a party to it.
And along with the great word of mouth came a very special award.
I think that a lot of that has to do with the Golden Globe Award. You know, we've been seen, we've been awarded, we're appreciated.
That was very satisfying because it was for best drama. And it's nice to know the show's being considered a drama and not a science fiction show.
Don't go away. When we return, we'll get an up-close look at how the X-File makeup wizards create splooging pustules. You don't know what they are? Stay tuned and find out.
This is my natural color.
You'd think the life of a makeup person would be glamorous, but not on the set of The X Files, where key makeup artists Fern Levin and Toby Lindola are hard at work creating some pretty gruesome characters.
It's the best job. Every week there's something new and interesting to do.
We work like 16 to 18 hours a day at the shop. And, you know, kind of get blown away each time. And thank God, because, yeah, it is a really good show. I'm glad to be a part of it.
It's about a virus, and the manifestation of the virus is a huge zit. So it's like if the zit popped on you, you'd get this deadly virus.
These are prisoners who have been infected with a deadly disease. And these men are already dead, so we're just applying a dead type of makeup onto them.
It's pretty much your standard prosthetic makeup that's glued on, blended, and colored. The only real difference in this one is that it's constructed a little differently in a couple pieces so that we can add in the tubes and the bladder with the boil effect. So we've used gelatin to dress the boils so that we can get, you know, as much of a realistic sort of infected, fleshy look to them as possible.
Can I be dead for a second?
I just got splooged on, so it is pretty gross.
Well, we'll have fun with the effects on this one, but you know, it's all for us. It's all fun because it's another way to get the same kind of reaction out of people.
Yeah. I look at everybody's face here, and they're.
I think the special effects are important because you know you have to show the reality. You have to show this extreme reality as a reality. So if you're dealing with UFOs, if you're dealing with a Bigfoot character, it's important that that it look real. It's definitely not a show about special effects. The special effects are in service of the drama, not vice versa.
Back on the Fox lot in Hollywood, some pretty special electronic wizards are editing, mixing, and completing the special effects for the show.
All the film is shot up in Vancouver and is processed in Vancouver and then sent down here. The assistant editors load all of the dailies into the Avid electronic system. We have, in the show that we're doing now, F. Emasculata, there's a sequence where there are some vultures that are hovering around this dead boar. And we weren't able to tie in the vultures and the dead boar real successfully on the set, so what we did was we shot the vultures against a green screen and had the actor come in and shoo away just nothing against a green screen as well, and then we composite that into the shot with the boar, so it's a three-step process. And by working with the electronic system, we're able to make a pre-composite on it, like a viewing composite for ourselves, and then the visual effects supervisor will use all those elements, and he takes them off to one of the visual effects houses, and he will create the actual composite for us, which will appear in the final production.
But back up in Vancouver, our crew is having a lot of fun with those sploogin' boils.
They are gross, but I quite like them.
Boils are actually edible too, so there's an added bonus.
Take one. Allie Mark.